82.
The sexiest podcast on the network.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yes. Yeah, I have a sad, I almost wish I had sad music to play. I have
wouldn't
an
come through
announcement
anyway.
for our listeners out there. The soundboard is being retired. The Nook is officially being put in the old folks' home, or wherever you put Nooks, underneath like unbalanced tables.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say third world countries, but yeah.
That too. Yeah, it's become more effort than it's worth.
Yeah.
With my ear balls getting blown out every time I play a sound effect, but everyone else is going like, what was that?
Yeah. Yep.
So we're just not doing that shit anymore. You dig, suckers?
Yep.
That's all I got.
R.I.P. soundboard. You served us well.
I mean, it's been a long run.
Yeah.
I mean, look at.
You're putting it out to stud.
Look at this thing.
Yeah.
Look at. Oh, jeez.
Man.
It says, I mean, I don't even know when they made. No. Oh, you know what the date? It says welcome back. September 20th, 2004.
All right. Wow.
Were Nooks even? I don't think that's that old. There's no way this Nook's that old.
I don't know.
There's no fucking way, man. That is, I refuse to believe that.
Right? Yeah.
I utterly refuse to believe that that's an actual thing.
Let's see here. I just typed in like when Nook, like the color Nooks came out.
Well, it's just a case.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Well, no, the screen is color.
Oh, that's you're right.
The first ones were black and white. That's why it was like
right
further down the road here. The Nook tablet came out in 2011. Okay. That was the original one.
Okay, because I saw it in 2004. I mean,
yeah,
Logan would have been like 3.
Yeah,
there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
All right, that makes me feel better. Yeah. I was just like reading that off, and wow. Okay, all right, we're good now.
Yeah. So it was probably like 2012 you got that one, or 2013, probably, something like that.
Yeah, something stupid like that.
Yeah. And it's been with us quite a long time.
Oh my god.
So
it's been ridden hard, put away wet. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep. That's why I said it's earned its retirement. We're sending it off to stud.
It's going off to stud. It's gonna start. We're gonna start filling up vials of Nook jizz, selling them on eBay.
Yeah, God help the offspring of that thing.
Yeah, right.
Because they're gonna be pretty awful.
Pretty terrible.
Yep.
You want to see the best can ever, Brian?
I want to make an ass reference here, but go ahead.
I mean, that's fair. I have this is my last can of beer meat from Seventh Sun Brewing, and all their cans just have different faces on them.
Yeah, it's so weird.
They're the greatest. It's actually a really tasty beer too. It's just called Beer Me.
They should for sure run contests to where you can be like one of the faces on next run of beers.
That would be a great idea.
Until like one of the people on there ends up becoming a serial killer or something.
Yeah,
then the cans
like this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, in the future salty language industries tap room and brewery, that would be an excellent contest.
It would.
Except for one thing. All the growlers have to be your head.
Wow. So we're going to have massitive growlers. All right. So. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It'd be like 128 ounces. That would be great on the growlers, though. It's just my face on the. So it just looks like my head.
Exactly. Yep. Looks like someone put your head inside of it, basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Good time. Oh, man, my nose. Good times. Good times. Oh, I should see if I can participate in the weirdest social media thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So, nope, not yet. So they introduced this thing on TikTok called Now.
Okay.
And it's basically like sometimes they'll get a push alert. Sometimes it'll come across your screen when you're scrolling.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, you've got 3 minutes to post something right now.
Oh, okay.
And it's weird because it uses like a double. It uses the front camera and the rear facing.
So it's like that Be Real app.
Maybe I don't. I've never heard of this before.
Oh, yeah. Somebody in one of the Twitter groups I'm in, she's been using it to where basically it uses both cameras at the same time.
Yeah, that's what it does. It's like in the corner will be the front facing,
Yeah.
and then the forward is obviously the forward facing camera.
Yeah.
And it's you can just take a quick picture or do like a 30-second video, or maybe it's only 15. Right. It's weird.
It used to be on Instagram. There used to be a hashtag that was SDS, which meant like stop drop selfie,
right?
Which meant that, like whatever you were doing, you just selfie at the time. And the idea was to like catch people doing weird shit basically, or something, and it never really works real well because people were too focused on the selfie part.
Well, of course,
more than what they happened to be doing at the time. So I think Be Real kind of, or the Now thing, it's probably along the same lines to where it's like you can probably do some creative shit with it.
Well, here's where to get you though, is you can't just make a Now whenever you want.
Right. Okay, so Be Real is different in that you can. Okay. That's the whole app, is it does both cameras.
And see, this one will be like, you'll be scrolling through your timeline, and it'll be like, like Michelle's on on TikTok. Oh well, Meters Art just posted a Now. And if you want to see it, you have to post one yourself.
Oh, okay.
It's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to. I've been only monkeying around with it for like a day and a half.
Yeah.
Like I at work, I was like, I'm surrounded by all my big dumb sheets of glass right now. This would be a fun one to, have my sad face with all my work around me. And then I was like, I don't understand why I can't post this. I posted one last night when I was walking the dog.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I was walking the dog, my phone vibrated. And I looked, and it was like, hey, post it now. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna walk the dog. Why not?
Right.
So you just can't do it whenever you want.
Interesting.
It's weird.
All right. So it's got a little guerrilla feel to it.
A little bit, yeah. And I have been compiling cringy and oddball TikToks so we can, annoy our Patreon people with you enjoying them for the first time. Odds are. Good time.
I like it.
Yeah, right?
Yep. I like it.
Oh, you know what I gotta do? Shit. I gotta open up the studio mode just in case anyone's in the chat.
Oh, right.
Don't mind me. Entertain them, Brian. Entertain them. Excellent work.
Well, I'll say hi to Cheeto because he jumped in the chat.
He's in the chat? Excellent.
I can do that, yeah.
You know how I feel about
I try not to, not that we get a lot of people in the chat, but I don't have it open the whole time because I don't want to be constantly reading chat or something.
I generally just have it next to my control window for the live show, just in case someone comes in.
Yeah.
But then I put the window over it so I don't have to watch a video and be traumatized.
Right. Plus, I don't have that big of a monitor. I can only have so many windows open at one time.
That's why you need 2 monitors, Brian.
I have a 27-inch monitor. It's plenty of monitor. I don't
even know how big this TV is, but it's bigger than 27.
Yeah, I know. I told you. I still got my 30-inch TV. I just never hooked it up yet.
Yeah, fair enough.
Someday.
See, if I would have won that TV at work, I would have had a huge monitor. Actually, not that. It's the same size as the TV in our living room, so I was like,
nah, you would have had a new football TV is what you would have had.
You're goddamn right.
That way you're not watching it on your phone out there.
Exactly. I got to click my phone on and zoom in on the TV.
Right. Good times.
But hey, that little tiny TV was free.
Hey, I ain't knocking it, man. It gets the job done.
Gets the job done. So
that's all that matters. Bigger one would be nice, but free is free.
That is when, now it's getting darker earlier.
Yeah.
I have 2 things I need to order, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
One of which was this little converter that you plug your stupid antenna coaxial cable in, and it converts it into an HDMI signal, so I can hook up my antenna to my projector.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
have
the move.
outdoor feetsball.
Yeah, that's for sure the move.
But the second move is because we did movie night Saturday, which we'll get into a little bit.
Right.
I think we were annoying people because, we watch horror movies. I mean, I get it. It's dark. People are screaming, whatever.
Yeah.
Because the people behind me turned on this light that is it's like the sun rising. Right?
Yeah.
And then my neighbor turned on his light too. And it's like, fuck everybody. We're only here over here for one movie. It's not that loud.
Right.
But the problem.
But in that neighborhood, I can understand where they think some shit's going down.
I mean, accurate.
Because there's been some random yelling and screaming in
this
your
is
neighborhood.
very true. You know what? Everyone's justified. I'm wrong.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. On this one, I might be with your neighbors. Yeah.
But no, the dude behind us, because we're watching a horror movie, so it's dark. Watch Cabin in the Woods, great movie.
That's a good movie. Yeah.
It was Michelle's niece stayed with us, and it was the first time she'd seen it. So it's always entertaining showing someone that movie and they don't know what it's about.
Right.
Anywho.
Yeah. Did you happen to have a Bruce Willis display that fell over and?
No, unfortunately not. But
anyway.
So that light behind my house, the screen that came with my projector is a great screen unless there's a light behind it. Because basically it's translucent, so you can like set up the projector behind it and flip the image over and still.
Okay.
Which I'm going to use for Halloween decoration. I think it's going to be fun.
Nice.
But so yeah, this guy's light, like half the movie you couldn't see because it's if it was during the daytime or in a light scene, it was fine. But when it's like you need that black, you got the light coming. So I'm on Amazon and they sell screens that have they're double layered with a black back.
There you go.
So I'm like, well, that's clearly what I need.
Yeah.
For outdoor movie night / like night games.
Yeah. Or night moves if you're in a Bob Seger kind of mood.
Yeah, I'll say, Brian. Well, no, I'm not going to have that stuff by then. Never mind. I was saying, let's watch some projector football next weekend.
Yeah.
But I won't have that part by then.
Boo.
But you can still come over and watch football if you want.
Boo. I only watch football on projector screens.
Yeah, you're right.
I refuse to watch on anything else, even if I go to a sports bar. I'm like, do you have a projector screen? They're like, well, we don't really use it anymore. Pull that shit down.
God, you remember how awful that when you go to a sports bar and they just like, oh, we've got a 80-inch TV, and you walk in, it's just a projector, and it's so faint you can barely see it.
It's garbage.
Oh,
yeah.
God, I always hate it. I think they did that at like Miscue.
Yeah, probably.
God,
I mean, I understood why, but it was like something needs to be adjusted there so that you get a better picture. I don't know what's going on.
I'm also like, I guess, showing our age because that was always the times when the bars had the giant CRTVs precariously hanging in like 10 feet in the air, just ready to drop on somebody's domer.
Yeah, people are playing pool
and
right
it's only
underneath.
Like 32 inches.
If that.
Yeah, exactly. Now you go into bars and they've got 85-inch TVs. There's 4 of them.
And yeah, I was gonna say, and they're like around the bar. Yeah. Like no matter where you sit at the bar, there's one for you basically at some of these places. It's like, good Lord.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, I've been to some bars that have little tiny TVs and like if you're sitting at the booth.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, I think they have that at the Bag of Nails downtown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the booths have little TVs.
Those are going to be great until they start shitting out on them and they have to get them repaired.
Yes.
Because those are not going to be fun to get repaired, probably.
Maybe they thought of that.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe they know somebody.
Maybe. Yeah, I got to call in my tiny booth TV guy.
Yeah, they're calling the guys from Pimp My Ride.
Yeah.
Yo, I hear you like TVs in your booth. Well, we made the whole the booth out of a TV.
Yeah, those foldable screens? Now you sit on it.
Yep.
You can only have a 15-minute meal. It gets hot.
Right. Yeah.
It gets so hot.
And you can't set anything on the table.
Yeah, nothing. Nothing. Not even your hands. Don't touch the table.
Especially not your hands. Man, them burgers smell good from here.
Bro, is that new Blackstone TV? Shit.
I mean, it'd be kind of cool.
It would be kind of cool. You could cook and watch the game at the same time.
Yeah, the problem is you get distracted and now you're burning everything.
That's true. Actually, my problem is I'd be like trying to make like green bean mustaches and shit on people.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, you wouldn't even get your cooking done right
No, just be
because of
playtime.
yeah. You got like two green beans that are cooked right, and the rest are like clump over in the corner.
Although,
because you got to get them out of the way.
Hear me out. If you had a flat top, sounds so ridiculous, griddle that was also a TV.
Yeah.
Those dudes that do like that pancake art, all you have to do is pause and then just start drawing.
Oh, that would be kind of fun.
I mean, right? It would be awesome.
Yeah. You could really elevate it from just, like doing sceneries and stuff. Dude, there's your show. You do Bob Ross, but you're doing like
pancakes on a griddle.
Yep. And then everybody sits down and destroys the art at the end of it.
I mean, it's kind of like Great British Bake Off,
Yeah. Or Bob Ross's show.
Or Bob Ross, yeah.
The whole crew just got around and ate the paintings at the end of every
when he murdered everybody.
Well, that too.
All right, gather around, just mows them down.
Yep. Palette knife to everyone's neck.
I kind of want to see that, dude. Can you see this comic book frame? This frame, right?
Yeah.
Cell panel. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Where it's just like an armed guard walking up the hallway, right? And you just have like the light from the door that he's walking towards illuminating the hallway.
Yeah.
And just you can barely see it, and it's like black and blue. And it's just like an upside down afro hanging from the ceiling with a palette knife.
So now I'm picturing him more like Solid Snake, but
yeah, exactly.
Sneaking around in boxes.
Just palette knife people. I love it. Wow, yep. Bob Ross the Assassin. I mean, I could see it.
Bob Rossassin?
Oh, maybe.
Might have just named the show.
I mean, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Unlike my cat's shit.
Wow, that right there was a nice transition.
Yeah, she's been having some issues.
You think? Good Lord. Maybe stop feeding her oil all the time.
Dude, we've started buying like expensive food to try to figure out if it's the food or.
Right.
Yeah. Boy, it sucks when you love your animals.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you're like, okay, well, I guess you're gonna eat better than I am.
Yeah, right.
Here we go.
Prime rib for the kitty.
I know, right? Like I cracked open this can of like chicken and gravy. I was like,
yeah,
throw this in a pan.
Yeah, I'm saying,
get a little stuffing going.
Yeah,
good eating right there.
That's the move, right? Start making pot pies and putting that cat food inside them.
I mean, it legit looked like it was like shredded chicken.
I know.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff we had for Molly for a little while because she was having some issues, and we were buying like the food at the vet's office basically, and that's what that looked like. It was like, yo, this looks legit. Like if it said Dinty Moore on it or something, I'd be like, yeah, this makes sense. Or Campbell's Chunky or something.
Right.
That's what I feel like pouring in this dish for the dog. So, I mean, she appreciated it. And then my mom found a recipe for basically it's just like a rice stew for the animals, where it's like meat and some veggies and a little bit of rice.
Yeah,
and, dude, it smelled amazing. It's not like it was dog food grade stuff. I mean, it was,
well, yeah,
we could have had it. I mean, it really did look almost like the inside of a pot pie.
I mean,
kind of.
I when R.I.P. Dubbers, when Dublin was on her last leg, I was making her food that could have been pot pie filling. It had like peas and carrots and
right,
chicken in it, and rice and all kinds of stuff.
Right. Yeah. Whatever was on the floor.
Exactly. Yeah. Whatever's in the vacuum bag.
Yep.
I use that as a binder.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. That's the secret ingredient.
Yes. That's the 86 herbs and spices.
Next time it might only be 83.
Yeah, exactly. All depends on what's in that kitchen mat.
That's right. Recipe changes from time to time.
Yeah, because winter it's a little more salty because
sure,
sidewalk salt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. In summer, you might have some sand if you hit the beach or something.
Sand,
so
the spring's got a little more pollen in it.
Right. Nothing wrong with a little grit in your food, you know?
Lets you know it's there.
Well, it helps take that tartar off your teeth too.
That's true.
You know, and everything else.
Yeah, and your life.
And the enamel. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man. So how you been, Brian?
Well, oddly enough, like, you know, similar to your cat, I was having some issues
That's no
last
bueno.
week. Like, let's see, when did we go out? Was that, what day was that?
Tuesday.
Wednesday?
It was
Tuesday.
Ohio
Yeah,
Pint
that's right.
Day.
Which we'll get to in a minute.
Yeah.
But so, you know, that night later on, I was, you know, a little hungry, made a couple bagels and whatever, and then the next day when I got up, like I had a wicked migraine.
Fucking wicked migraine, dude.
And I was, you know, and a lot of times those migraines make me really nauseous. And I woke up and I'm like, man, I feel just like I'm gonna get sick.
Oh, it sucks.
And you know, and usually I don't feel that way unless I'm gonna get sick.
Right.
So, you know, and you know, mom's made some chili, so you know, I was about to have some chili mac, and I was like, this is probably a terrible idea if I'm already feeling a little nauseous.
Or
You know,
the best idea.
right? I took like 2 bites of it, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get sick.
Okay, bad idea.
And it wasn't. I don't think it would have mattered what I ate. You know,
Right.
I think it was gonna happen, and so you know, naturally I did, and that was a good time.
That sounds
And
amazing.
so you know, of course, I come back out, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna not have the chili right now. So and man, I just the rest of that night, I just felt kind of like thought like not like I was gonna get sick, but just kind of queasy the rest of the night.
Weird.
And yeah, and then you know, just tummy problems all night, and the next day I felt better, but I was like, dude, I was in bed the next day by like 11 p.m.
Right.
I mean, I was wiped out. And the day after that was like that. So I don't, it's like, I don't know if I had, I can't imagine it was food poisoning, because if it had been food poisoning, it would have either been the delicious smash burger that I ate,
Right.
or, those bagels. The cream cheese was brand new. So it wasn't, you know, it shouldn't have been bad. Unless there was some like listeria or something,
Hell yeah.
you know, and I hadn't eaten anything since that point. So I don't think it was food poisoning, you know, because food poisoning usually comes on fairly quickly.
Yeah. Aggressive.
Aggressive, exactly. So I don't think it was that. I think maybe I just had a bit of a like a little flu bug or something.
That sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I felt pretty much okay other than just, you know, the tummy stuff.
Right.
So but man, from getting sick, my throat was so bad. Like I kind of lost my voice a little bit, you know? So, and of course, I'm looking around the house and we got nothing as far as lozenges go.
Right.
Nothing at all. No hard candies, like nothing. I finally found, like just scrounging around, I found like a butterscotch and a Werther's Original. They were both questionably old, but I consumed them anyways because there was nothing else. And then my dumbass remembers the next day, I have a whole box of throat coat in there.
Damn,
And that's,
God damn it, Brian.
and that stuff, for anyone who doesn't know, is basically like a tea, but it's so amazing if you have a sore throat. It's fantastic.
Viscous, which is weird.
Right.
But it works.
Normally, if I just have a sore throat, I would do a little honey and whiskey, you know.
Yeah.
But
What do
I didn't want the
hot toddy.
like a hot toddy, yeah. But I didn't want the burn of the whiskey after just getting sick. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, that would probably be a bad time in thinking about it now.
Yeah, so I was like, whew. But yeah, unfortunately, you know, I had to pass on a couple opportunities. I had to, you know, Jeannie asked me if I wanted to head up to Pavlov's, I think, was it Friday? And I was like, you know, I really shouldn't. Because first of all, I didn't know if it was a flu. You know, I don't want to go out and maybe get other people sick.
Right.
You know, but also I'm just not feeling up to snuff just yet, you know. So pouring, and you know what my ass is going to go get up there and get. I'm going to be, you know, I've decided it's not just hazy summer, it's hazy fall too. So
well, fair enough.
Until there's no more hazies, it's hazy. But So I would have been pouring hazies down my gullet, and that would have probably been a terrible idea. So I showed some restraint, decided to, just stay home. And my brother wanted me to go out with him too, and on Thursday, and I was like, nah, I don't think that's a good idea. Because again, I don't know if I'm sick, so I'm like, I don't want.
Right.
Yeah, I did um, I thought about, because, I was a couple days after I was having a little trouble breathing and whatever, but that was more just because, for anyone who doesn't know, I vomit like what's his name in the sound effects in Ferris Bueller.
Once
So,
again, aggressive.
oh, so aggressive. So I felt like, dude, I'm not gonna lie, my ribs still are not 100% right now. Like if I take a real deep breath, I still kind of a little bit.
Wow, you must have been going hard.
Well, you've heard
That's
it.
true. That's true.
Yeah, it was aggressive. So
Aggressive.
yeah, but yeah, so that was a great weekend. Let me tell you,
That sounds amazing, man.
I'm glad I didn't have anything really planned, but because I was supposed to go get my COVID booster Friday,
Right.
and I was like, well, they tell you if you've recently been sick not to get them, because you may not be, you may get taken down a little harder from the
Bring
vaccine.
it
So I was like, well,
on.
yeah.
Don't pay me at work.
Right. So I canceled that.
Right.
So I got to reschedule that, which that's no big deal, but it was still, yeah, I just thought better of that. So yeah, had to cancel a few things, but on the upside, I finally got my ass scheduled to get an evaluation for ADHD.
Wow, nice, nice.
And like I told you, my therapist actually wants me to be screened for autism also,
Right.
because apparently I tick off a lot of boxes. So, so we'll see how that turns out. I called the woman called back, and I'm expecting one of two things. One, we don't take your insurance.
Fair.
Two, it's going to be like a year before we can get you in, because as much as I, as a mental health advocate, hate to admit it, a lot of times there's long waits on this stuff.
Seems to be the gist for a lot of medical stuff right now.
Right. So woman calls back from his office, and because when I left a message, I was like, hey, this is the insurance I have. Can you let me know if you take that before we really progress any further?
Right.
Because if you don't, then I'm wasting both our times, So she called, she go, oh yeah, no problem. We do that. We do the testing you have. And she's like, he does his appointments via like phone or Zoom. Is that okay? And I'm like, perfect. I don't have to worry about going to Monroe for this appointment. I can just sit right here and do it.
Exactly. Wait, do you use the same background?
Yes, of course.
That'd be awesome.
If I'm on Zoom, it'll be automatic, or Skype, it'll automatically be on there. Zoom,
fantastic.
I mean, I can set it up for Zoom, but I don't have it.
You should.
I should. Yeah. But yeah, it was. So yeah, so we'll be doing that, and it's like next week.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it's like lickety quick.
Express lane.
Yeah. So I was like, sweet.
Yeah, shit's cool.
Yeah. But man, I've been putting off that phone call for a long time, and no real reason. I'm so bad about making phone calls.
That's fair.
Just have been for years. I hate being on the phone, like, so much. It's so, like, I mean, like, talking on the phone.
Yeah.
I don't, clearly if I'm playing a game or something, I'm all day on that thing. But
speaking of playing a game, when we playing Fortnite.
What?
So speaking of playing a game, when are we playing Fortnite?
Where did that come from?
I don't know. He said playing a game.
I don't even know what Fortnite is.
I know, Brian. I know.
That's something them TikTok kids do.
I kind of wanted to get on that Modern Warfare 2 beta.
Yeah.
I totally missed it.
I haven't been on a beta for Call of Duty since the World at War one.
Yeah.
Which was a blast to play. So
I mean,
because that's still my favorite Call of Duty.
It's fantastic. It's like every once in a while I still hop on Warzone, and it's kind of like, it's like getting like super weak heroin. It's just not the fix I want.
Right.
So I saw there was Modern Warfare 2, which was like back. That was what we played in the heyday, the Wild West of Xbox Live. When you hear all kinds of phrases.
Oh yeah, yeah.
we played a lot of that. So I was kind of hoping for the beta, but Brian, I'm a busy man.
I was gonna say, when would you play it anyway?
I have no idea.
You just download it and never play it. You'd be like me, basically, with games.
No, I mean single player stuff. I like those because I can hop on for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. But you know how it is multiplayer.
Yeah,
you're getting to a match, and some motherfucker kills you, and then you reload the next match, and he's in the other lobby again, and you gotta go get it. And it's like a game of cat and mouse, and suddenly it's 3 a.m.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, that's true.
Although I haven't done that in a long time either. Not since the days of like you and Scott and T and myself.
Yeah,
we'd all hop on, Call of Duty or whatever.
Yeah. And then usually me and T would stick around longer afterwards and whatnot. Man, I haven't.
Runners.
Yeah, I haven't done that either. Like, I don't jump into multiplayer games. Honestly, a lot of that really got ruined for me. I mean, the main reasons obviously we don't have a squad, right? Like we're not running like 6 deep like we used to.
Right.
So, but also the lobbies in so many of those games have turned me off to those, and then the griefing within the games has just really killed me on a lot of those games. It's, again, it's like, was it last week I jumped in, I was going to do some stuff in Grand Theft Auto, and I no more and jumped into the map, and I immediately got killed. Had nothing to do with what I was doing. It was just somebody saw a blip on the map and came after me.
Yeah.
And then this guy just followed me, basically. And so I left that lobby, went to another one, headed again, and I was like, I'm done with this.
That's honestly
I can't get
why
anything
I stopped playing GTA Online.
Yeah, it's like I don't understand why they made it that way. Yeah, it's like, they, because any mission you do, there's always resistance from the game itself.
Right.
Like, why do you also need assholes who are just trying to kill me to kill me? It's like, why the game, just dial up the difficulty in the game.
Well, Brian, people are assholes.
Yeah. Although I will tell you, the other night I did something I haven't done in a long time. Do you remember how we'd play GTA and then we're like, okay, it's about time to sign off, and we would basically just go stupid.
Oh yeah.
Blowing everything up that we could do, just causing all the trouble, basically.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And the other night I was at this one intersection, and I was just being an asshole. I went up and kicked the door on the thing. The guy gets out to fight me. Of course, I immediately just pull a gun out and shoot him. And
as is tradition.
But there's all these cars, like this congestion, and I'm like, I got a grenade launcher. So, I shoot it right into the middle of him. It blows cars, and there's this chain reaction and all this, and I'm just blowing cars up. And for some reason, I'm not paying attention at all to my wanted level. Next thing you know, I'm like, oh shit, I have a 4-star wanted level. Right. So I'm like, well, let's see if I can get out of this, because, it's very difficult, because usually you got choppers coming after you and all that kind of shit,
Mm-hmm.
And so I was in this just pickup truck, and I'm just flying away from, I'm getting shot at left and right. And that, I will say, whatever vehicle I was in, that thing held up like a champ, because I was getting shot from cop cars. I was getting shot from helicopters.
Say, Dodge Ram 2500, Brian, S-Series or whatever.
It was whatever in the game is supposed to be the Dodge Ram. That's what it was. I was driving. And the only downside is it's not tough, very
buddy.
fast. Yeah. But it's not quick, but I'll take it, because that whatever, and it wasn't a personal vehicle. It was just one I thiefed,
Ram tough. They're all
because if it was a personal, if it was a personal vehicle, it would have had bonus armor,
right?
So I finally get, and I'm just driving. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go up the mountain, because that's a good way to at least get the cops in the cars and stuff off of you.
Always a good tactic.
But dude, the problem was the mountain I picked had a bunch of paths on it, so there were cops everywhere on this mountain.
So you got to channel your Back to the Future. Where we're going,
well,
we don't need roads.
Well, I do have that car in GTA, remember?
Oh God, yeah, I forgot. I forgot all about that.
But in the middle of this, there's no way I can, stop and request it.
Right.
So I just basically ramp off this thing down into like the ravine. The truck rolls like a million times, naturally. But I'm okay, because we've been in worse. Yeah, it'll buff out.
Yeah, exactly. Like and love.
Well, finally, I get this thing like destroyed,
Yes.
and I'm fuck. Now I'm on foot. There's helicopters, so I'm like, well, whip out the rocket launchers, take out 3 choppers, and I'm like, well, this isn't going to help my case at
No, you'd
all.
be all right.
I take
It's
down 3 more
self-defense.
choppers.
You were just standing your
Yeah,
ground.
I was. I mean, I will say I lasted a long time, and then finally I was like, this is going to be near. So I pulled the cheat move. I pulled my phone out and called Lester and had him remove my wanted level.
That is the cheat
But
move.
yeah,
It's all
but
right.
because I was basically in a spot to where I'm like, I'm gonna die here otherwise. Like, there's no question.
Right.
Because they're gonna be able to keep sending choppers, and I only have so many rockets.
Fair enough.
Although you can replenish your ammo on the fly. You don't have to go into an ammunition to do that
Online
anymore.
shopping's crazy these days, guys.
I know, right? It's fantastic because like the only thing you can't but you can't replace your body armor that way. So if you run out of body armor, you're boned.
Right.
So, but that was I was like, yeah, that was a good fun, got the blood pumping a little bit as I was seeing how long I could survive. And actually, I guess I survived quite a while with that 4-star on me. So I was surprised.
4-star general.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get out of it,
Yeah,
so.
you did.
I mean, I did. You right. I was like, oh wait, I got a hacker friend.
Can your hacker friend summon me a bottle opener because I'm an asshole and then grab one?
Oh no. Do you got teeth?
No, barely. I thought I did have one up here somewhere, but I got too much shit on this desk, bro.
I don't understand how you don't have a bottle opener. You don't have a knife on you that has a bottle opener?
No, my pocket knife is downstairs.
Jeez.
I know, I'm like a naked man up here. But I know.
Can't use the edge of the desk?
Oh, no, this is nice. I would never do that. She'll be like, how come my desk looks like a small dog was gnawing on it?
Like, you mean my desk?
What do you mean your desk? What do you mean used to be your dining room table?
Right. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, man, that is a bummer.
Man, do you have any other beers, or is that the only one you brought?
I have a liquid death too, but
do we need to take a break so you can get a bottle opener?
That'd be all right.
All right,
that'll be good.
Can't believe you don't have one up there. What the hell, man? I've never been more disappointed in you than right now.
Believe me, I'm disappointed in myself. I've kind of thought maybe I might have one on my shelf of fun back there, but
no.
Nope. I gotta definitely have one installed.
Yeah, for sure.
This can never happen again.
Yeah, exactly. That's
look at this.
Right.
We lost soundboard. Can't open my Oktoberfest. Travesty.
And it's even October. It's not even like, hey, you should wait a couple days.
North Korea's shooting off missiles.
Yeah.
Still slightly less terrible than me not having a bottle opener.
Yeah. Again, it's like, why does the worst stuff always happen to us, right?
Exactly, because I guarantee when they shot that missile off, they were cracking bottles.
Yeah.
I can't.
No.
Therefore, my pain is worse.
Are you saying you want to celebrate them shooting missiles off?
No, I just want to celebrate me shooting my Oktoberfest off.
Oh, okay. Okay. Fair enough.
It's going to be an Oktoberfest in my pants, Brian, later. If I can ever get to this bottle.
Yikes. Pants kraut. Yeah. For sure shouldn't be like that.
No. The old pants kraut.
If it is, please go see a doctor.
Oh my God, how sour is it? Get out of here, you rascal. So
anyway, so how's your week
been? All right. I mean, obviously I worked, which always sucks.
Yeah.
The weekend was it was all right. Friday night we went to see my niece march in the marching band.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Because she's a senior in high school, and I've never.
And you love going to see high school football. Let's not forget that.
I was having some flashbacks. Michelle and I both were, because Michelle used to be a marching band too.
Oof.
Actually.
Wait, them ankles?
I know those tender ankles.
I don't. That's a terrible idea.
I know, right? But yeah, so we go to this game, and apparently it's a big rivalry Anthony
Yeah.
Wayne versus Perrysburg.
Well, and it was Homecoming
was
too,
Homecoming.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Hoko apparently is it's called now by the people. I saw all sorts of people. My kid at Hoko, and I'm like, the fuck is this? Call it Homecoming.
Well, Leah went to Homecoming, and they're telling some stories. So HOCO could just stand for like Hose Cooperation or Corporation.
Well, that's fine. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Soko.
Leah was like, oof, there was all kinds of, weird things happening. She's like, I full on saw boobs.
All right, then.
All right. Well, you just watched child pornography, so you're going to jail.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, no.
Way to rat her out on the podcast,
I know,
Tony.
Right?
Jeez.
Oh, yeah. So it's Homecoming. Yeah. Meet my parents for dinner because they've never been to one of these either.
Yeah.
And my sister really wanted, people to come see it.
Yeah.
So we all meet for dinner, had a great meal. Dude, brisket, Philly cheesesteak.
Nice. Amazing. Nice.
At local time out there in Waterville, White House, y'all. But so we go to the game. Like my sister and Brian, they're like, hey, we're going to leave now and get seats for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, okay. So we finish our drinks and we, head to the game. I had to park in some neighborhood, way far away from the high school.
Really? They didn't have a parking lot?
It was full.
Or was it just not big enough?
It was full up.
Whitmer's was like crazy because their homecoming was this past weekend too. Me and Daryl rolled through there Saturday.
Right.
And it was full. So I hear you.
So we find a place to park, hoof it to the game. As I'm walking in, I can't believe how many people are already like in my vicinity.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get home. My sister, like, where are you at? We're in we're in the second section. Little tiny ass bleachers, but they're full of people.
Right.
So when they got there, they normally sit. They're like, there's never been this many people here.
Yeah.
It was
it's Hoko.
It was Hoko.
Rivalry game.
So we weren't sitting together as a family. We were scattered across the bleachers.
Perfect.
Yeah. So it was like my parents, right behind them was my sister, and then it was Brian, Michelle, and I, like, further away. Bro.
This is general admission, right?
You have to have tickets, but yeah.
No, but it's not like a sign seating.
No,
right?
it's general admission, which is insane.
Yeah.
Because people kept piling onto the bleachers, like, and trying to, can I get two people over there? It was insane.
Yeah, right.
But the marching band is good.
Yeah.
Like, I've never really seen. I know Anthony Wayne's known for their band. I don't recall ever seeing them. So they were good. 160 kids in that band, Brian.
Wow, that's quite a few.
Yeah. Do you know how many people were at this Hoko rivalry game, though?
42.
I got texted the number from my sister the next day.
Oh. 1,500.
I mean, you're close.
Okay.
6,000.
Good Lord. Wow.
Yeah, because it was like standing room only.
Yeah.
I don't even know who won. We hit halftime, and we watched her do her show, and we got the fuck out of there.
Yeah, that would have been my move too. Yeah. Like, see ya. Yeah.
And it's like, on the way out, people weren't moving in the bleachers. Like, Michelle basically fell.
Yeah.
And
well, no, nobody wanted to move because they're afraid you'll take their seat.
Yeah, And then as we're
just trying to leave,
as we're walking out, boy, the old rage, Brian, the old rage, alive and well sometimes. As we're walking out, people are out in the fucking parking lot tailgating. They got tables and TVs and.
Okay, this is high school
football.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, the guy that was sitting in front of me in the game, I've never seen an old man get more excited about high school football. To the point they ran one play and he was just like, I've never seen them use that formation. Like, who are you?
You should have been like, me neither, because you've never seen him play before.
Accurate. I didn't want to interact with this guy.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, small town high school football is insane.
Yeah, it's something like I've told you before. Like, I'm not into high school football at all because I'm always just like, wow, these kids look really tiny.
Yeah, and I was thinking the same thing.
Usually the quality is not good, so I'm just like, about it. But it's like, you hear the stories about like in Texas to where like the town shuts down because it's high school football night,
Fucking
and
Friday.
everyone's got to be a team, and it's like, oh, come on. It's high school football. Get a
Yeah,
life.
that's how I feel. I mean, I think which kind of makes me sad. There was quite literally 4 seconds to halftime, and I
Yeah.
look over, my parents are scrambling out of there. I'm
Yeah.
like, you almost made it. But the guy that was sitting right behind my stepdad
Yeah.
was like clapping loud, like right behind his head.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you could see him every
Sure.
time he clapped, he was blinking. And then he started
Yeah.
like stomping.
Well,
And
I
he's,
mean, you got to let you got to fire up the
you got to
team.
get these underage kids fired up, 40-year-old guy.
Yeah. Because they can hear you.
But I was pretty sure that, Chuck was going to start stabbing people.
Yeah, that's fair.
I could immediately, I could hear him say it. We got to get out of here, Deester. And they were gone.
Yeah.
They almost made it to halftime.
He's like, it's either that or I'm getting the palette knife.
Yeah, exactly, right. But yeah, walking out through the tailgate. So it's like, sometimes, Brian, the rage is still there, man.
Yeah.
This car, there's all these people, and this car pulls up and just starts honking, like right in front of Michelle and I as we're walking. Yeah. And then this group of people that were there that were trying to like walk through knew this guy. I started talking, and they open up the car door right in front of us as we're walking. Jeez. And then it was just like red. And Michelle hurt her knee pretty bad, so I was holding her hand. Yeah. I don't remember doing. I let go of her hand. I just grabbed the dude's back and just shoved him out of the way. But in my head, I'm like binging his face off the truck.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I was just so angry, and then I like turned around, and Michelle's like trying to like struggle through to people. I'm like, oh, I felt so bad. Right. It was just rage.
Those scenes in a movie where you'll see that where someone will look at a situation and then they'll do that. They'll grab a person, just slam their head on there, beat the shit out of them. And then all of a sudden they'll kind of snap back to reality, and they're like, like, oh yeah. And then just, go about what you would actually do because you don't go to jail. Yeah.
Well, what I actually did was just shoved them to the left aggressively.
Right.
And bit my tongue and abandoned my girl.
Yeah. It's like I get, that people are there and having a good time and everything, but it's like, still pay attention around you.
Pull up and lay on the horn and fling it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was not impressed.
Right. Ugh. See, another reason I hate scenes like that. Like I don't like extremism in pretty much any form.
Right.
Like sports, politics, it doesn't matter what it is, religious, it's anything. I don't care for it because when you hit that level, you're not functioning on a normal plane anymore, and it's like, I can't, it's why I don't like going. I'm not a big, like, let's go to the bar and watch football guy.
Right.
I'd rather like, go to your house or watch it by myself than go watch it with a bunch of people who like they run for a yard and they're standing up. Whoa, yeah, get him! And it's like, dude, calm down. It was a fucking yard.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I can't. I have so little tolerance for that. So yeah, I feel you a little bit on that.
Yeah, I don't understand the high school football scene.
I don't either. Any of it. Like again, I get it if your kid's in it.
Yeah.
Or you have some interest in that, like but. I will never understand the people who are our age or older and they're still going to high school football because they're loyal to the school they went to. I'll never understand.
The Panthers are looking sick this season, huh?
Yeah.
See that backfield?
I look on TV when they're like, blah, 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 Whitmer. I'll just look at the score, and that's about it. Yeah. I don't really care that much. I'm always like, oh, cool. I'm more like, good for the kids, but I don't care.
Yeah, I was saying that same thing when we were at the game because I was like, Logan had zero interest when he went to Bedford of really doing anything with the school besides making it.
Same here. Yeah, I mean, I was in art shows at Whitmer. Other than that, I didn't give a shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And like with Leah's current school, they don't do sports really.
Terrible.
So I never had a reason to be like going to the I get it with my sister. Both their kids were marching band.
Kids. Yeah, sure.
So
that I understand.
Sport, I get it, but it's like I don't. Yeah, I'm with you. Like
even if you
next
have,
year after Megan graduates, if my sister's like, "Hey, you guys want to go to the game?"
Nope.
Like, what's wrong with you?
Bang her head off the car.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
Yeah. No, I never have.
Yeah. Even
It's
when
not that I
went
really
to
even.
Whitmore, I went to a
Oh,
couple.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I went to a couple games.
I didn't.
Oh yeah,
I've never been to one.
No, yeah, fair enough. You weren't missing much.
No, I don't. Like I told you, I have a thing with sports to where, like, I'm a snob about it, I guess, in most ways. I want to see better competition.
Right.
And most of the high school games are sloppy. The kids are so undersized because they're spread out so much.
Except that one kid.
Except that one kid that's like 6'5",
He's just a
you know.
man.
Yeah. It's like, why is LeBron out there playing football? Like, I just, I don't know. I mean, it's not that the games aren't competitive. I guess I shouldn't say that, but it's like watching, like, there's a lot of college basketball I can't stand because it's a bunch of really undersized people shooting 3-pointers. Like, if the three didn't exist in college basketball, like 90% of the teams wouldn't have a prayer.
Right.
Because they can't play against these teams that are stacked with these guys that are like 6'8" and, athletic as hell. They've got a bunch of 5'9" guys who can shoot the hell out of the ball, which is great, but it's like, that's it. If they aren't making their threes, they're dead.
It's over.
Yeah. That's why they shortened the 3-point line in college basketball, was to make it more competitive because teams were getting rolled by, so much.
Right.
Meanwhile, the pros are like, maybe we should move the 3-point line further back because these guys can shoot jump shots from half court now. I'm not kidding. Like, Steph Curry and LeBron, like, shoot 3-pointers from half court, like, in practice. Like, they're nothing. These guys practice it now. You don't see guys heaving the ball from half court like you used to. Some of these guys literally pull up and take a jump shot. That's insane.
That's insane.
Yeah. So, I'm just that way about sports. It's, it's why, like, with college football, it's like, I'm obviously I'm rocking a Michigan hat right now.
Yes.
So, but it's like, when Michigan's playing Podunk State, I'm less likely to watch those games.
Right.
Because I feel bad for the other team, even though they're getting a buttload of money for the opportunity to get their ass handed to them, And once in a while, Appalachian State happens, and, but it's so rare,
Yeah, for sure.
I just, you're taking one for the team, when that team goes out there and they're trying hard, but you also know there's a better chance you're going to get your ass handed to you like 60 something to nothing, or, it's like
just going to be straight out embarrassed.
Yeah, it's like, well, at least because of this game, we're going to be able to have a softball program this year or a track outfit or something,
Right.
like, because that's where that money helps, but it's just tough for me to watch. So, yeah, I'm with you, though. I'd been the same way. Like, if I had gone to something with my nephew when he was in marching band, it would have been the same thing at halftime. Once it was over, I would have been like, so we're leaving now, right?
And this is the time we dip.
Because I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
Anyway, so what else did?
We also went to Tecumseh, Michigan yesterday.
Yeah, I was jealous. I saw that hazy you were rocking.
Delicious. 80s
Hashtag
Joel.
hazy fall. Yep.
Yeah, no, we went to Tecumseh because, well, one, it's Tecumseh.
Yeah.
But, they got that cheese shop I like.
Yeah.
There's a tea shop Michelle likes, and she was almost out of tea, and I was like, well, let's just go to Tecumseh,
I think she's got a problem.
She for sure does.
She's going through that tea pretty fast, man. You might want to check that, make sure it's not
chop it up to
laced with
rails.
something. Yeah. That's what she's doing all day.
But
that's how she's making out that artwork,
I know, right?
She's like Dr. Roxo. I do cocaine.
But dude, in the summertime, the hours are different. Once fall hits, a lot of those little stores I like to go to, they take Sundays off.
Oh,
we're like,
I guess that makes sense because people are less likely to walk the streets. Yeah. So, and by that I mean hookers, of course.
Well, of course, the one Tecumseh, Michigan streetwalker.
Yeah, because it's such a small area. They might have
maybe two.
Yeah, you got to have a backup.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You need a day off occasionally.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to let that thing air out. Yeah.
Um, appropriate that thing.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of holy shit, I started watching sorry to cut you off
Very
real quick.
good.
I started watching Letterkenny again.
Oh yeah.
And Jesus, I'm in season 5 now, and Jonesy and Shorzy, geez, Jonesy and Riley are like they're coaching a women's hockey team.
Okay.
And holy shit, the jokes the women make about each other's fucking clams are so goddamn good. Anyway, sorry, that's what that reminds
No,
me
you're
of
good.
that.
You're good.
All right, back to Tecumseh.
So yeah, basically everything's closed that we really want to go to. But there's a cool little store that's a place where I discovered Moonwater. It's called Paper Street Industries, I think it is, because Fight Club. Yeah. The lady likes Fight Club, which I think is great.
Okay, fair enough. Did they have a monkey paw in there?
I didn't look. Maybe.
Damn. Because I wonder if you also get a free Frogurt topping.
I hope so. Well, the Frogurt stand has to be open Sunday, so probably
right.
not.
Oh, you're right. They're closed. Yeah. Which, that's bad.
That's bad. But they'll open again on Tuesday.
Well, that's good. But all the toppings are cursed. Sorry. For anyone who doesn't know what we're referencing, there's an old Simpsons Treehouse of Horror with Homer gets a monkey paw, and with it you get a free Frogurt, or a Frogurt and free toppings, I believe. So. Yeah, you get a free Frogurt, and yeah, but the toppings are all cursed, and it just goes back and forth of good and bad. So
it's classic.
Yeah, hit it up on Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus. Find that shit.
Yep.
But in the back half of this room, or the store rather, were all these plants. And we're like, ooh. Well, it turns out the storefront, these two ladies have like split. So like half of it's a plant store now, and the other half's, like it's kind of like Handmade Toledo, but for Tecumseh.
Oh, okay, right.
So I'm like, okay. When Michelle starts talking to the plant lady, because we like plants, but so does our cat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. Catnip. Yeah.
So she was asking questions about how do I keep the cats out, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I'm looking around, and I realized like all these plants have the logo for the place in it, and the place is called My Plantera. And immediately I'm like, fucking Pantera.
Yeah, Plantera. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's plant and then terra. Yeah. Right? Like earth or whatever.
Right. Terra.
Yeah, exactly.
Terra.
And I'm like, I'm like, this lady doesn't know.
I was going to say it's either that or maybe the woman's name is Terra. Then it would also be a good pun.
Maybe.
To where she's Plant Terra.
Well, in my head, I'm pulling a Chip Chipperson. Like, no, you don't even know what you said.
Yeah, right.
Like, I think this is awesome.
Whole time you're walking around, you're just making Pantera puns.
In my head, I had Pantera going.
Right.
So we're about ready to leave, and the lady's like, "Oh, hey, here's my business cards and stuff like that." And I think Michelle grabbed one. I should ask her. But her business cards, it said "My Plantera, vulgar display of flora." And I was like, "Holy shit, that's a Pantera reference!" And the lady's like, "Well, I was a '90s kid."
Yes. Love it.
How great is that?
Vulgar display of flora is great.
Oh my,
I love that.
Once I read that, I was like, oh my God.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was, it really, I guess it just shows you can't judge people.
Well, and it's even better because, the whole time you're like, Pantera. And then you're like, oh, wait, that's actually what it was supposed to be.
And you look at her, she's, probably a late 40s Karen haircut, a little overweight, but just a nice little country lady.
Oh, that's funny. And meanwhile, she's walking back.
Exactly. Oh, I had all kinds of images in my head, of like a, those white fluffy dandelions getting punched in the face like that album cover, Yeah. Yep. That vulgar display of flora, that really made my Sunday. Well, no, the beers and the amazing food made my Sunday, but Tecumseh Brewing, of course, we had to go there.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, I mean, you got to eat and stay hydrated.
Got to eat and stay hydrated. And
they were open. I mean, you probably didn't have a lot of options.
Honestly, no.
Cheese shop's closed, so what else are you going to eat up there? Plants?
Plantera?
I mean, you could have. I don't think she would have appreciated you just eating those plants. You never know. Maybe she wouldn't care.
She'd have to stop me.
Yeah.
She'd probably been in the pit.
I was gonna say, bruh, she's coming at you with Pantera references. I don't know if I want to test that.
You're right.
Might, Karen on the outside, destroyer on the inside. I guess I don't
Comes
know.
if a spin kick puts my nose on my cheek.
Yeah, right. Oh no, the old question mark. All right, so really quick to go back to the Simpsons monkey paw thing. That's from Treehouse of Horror 2, which was what, like 70 years ago.
That was a long time ago.
I think they're on like their, I don't know, 25th or 35th
I
one.
don't know if I want to know the year.
700 and I could tell you that too, probably. 1991,
Holy
sir.
Shit.
30
right
years
when
ago.
Nook came
31
out.
years. 31 years ago. So that means they should be on what, 33 or 34 should be coming out any time. Yeah. I love it. That's a great episode too. That's for sure to go back and watch.
The early days of Treehouse of Horror were great.
Yeah. I haven't watched one in a long time.
I watched one a couple years ago. It was kind of meh.
Because I had gotten to where, I don't watch The Simpsons regularly anymore, but it was one of those where every year I would still watch the Treehouse of Horror, because it was like Roseanne. Like, even if you weren't a big Roseanne fan, the Halloween episodes are great on that show.
Right, fair enough.
They really tried to do something fun every year. But yeah. Speaking of, I watched Solar Opposites put up a Halloween special yesterday, which was pretty decent. So that show's really grown on me over time.
I haven't watched any Halloween specials yet, or Solar Opposites, to be fair.
Solar Opposites is good. You should watch it. Not that you don't have other things to watch, but yeah.
Right. I'm still trying. I'm still in the middle of season 2 of Stranger Things.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Sopranos.
Dude, yeah, we haven't watched Sopranos in a while.
Speaking of finishing seasons.
Oh, yeah, what you got?
I finished Sandman, finally.
Oh, thank God.
Well, because a friend of mine started watching it, and I'm like, oh, shit, she's kind of burning through it. So I better finish, because otherwise she's likely to spurl something for me.
That had her off of the pass.
I watched the final 2 of the regular episodes, and then the was it Dream, 1,000 Cats, and Calliope.
You know what? I haven't actually watched that one yet.
It's so good.
Yeah, all right.
It's so
watching
good.
It tomorrow. I know you're listening.
You read Sandman, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you did. You know how there's like some of those kind of in-between stories that he would put in there that were in the universe but not necessarily integral to the main story?
Oh, yeah.
That's what those felt like, and but it kind of felt like a little of that, even though it was technically after the season, but it was, they're so good.
All right, well, see, I definitely need to watch it.
Yeah, definitely. Although I'll give you one warning.
Okay.
Which is in the Cats one. If you're a person who, like anyone listening, if you're a person who is super sensitive to cruelty to animals, there's a moment in there that you're either going to be rage or teary at. So just fair warning going in.
Is angry tears called tears?
Yes.
Sick.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to watch
I guess.
that.
I don't.
Oh, man.
But anyway, yeah, that's that show, so good.
Yeah.
I keep hoping for a second season announcement, but nothing's come yet. So, and it makes me sad.
Oh, soundboard.
Soundboard.
R.I.P., buddy.
Yep.
I also discovered, Brian, have you enjoyed hot honey?
No, I've heard that it's quite delicious, though.
They had a bottle at Aldi, and I'm like, yeah, we're going for it.
Yeah.
It's pretty, I mean, if you have it by itself, like yesterday when we first got it, I just put a little on my finger. I was like, it is extra. Right. I got the extra spicy.
Of course you did.
And it lets you know it was there, but I've had way spicier.
Yeah.
But today we had like bratwurst and roasted vegetables. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to drizzle a little hot honey on this thing. Because on the bottle, it's like, use it on everything. Put it on your dick, whatever.
Yeah, put it on your cereal, sure. Yeah.
And it was delicious on the bratwurst.
By the way, we don't recommend putting it on your dick. That's probably a bad career
someone
move.
Else's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was like, well, what else? Now, what else can I do with this? So I made a half a peanut butter sandwich, put some hot honey on it.
You're literally going to put it on
And that
everything.
was fucking amazing.
Dude, chicken and waffles is probably the
Yeah, I
move.
was thinking that. I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to get some like go to Popeyes and get some good ass fried chicken.
Mm,
Well, or
yep.
whatever, because I'm not making
Yep.
fried chicken. Hell no.
What? You got an air fryer? Why not?
Nah.
All right.
I mean, my mom can make really good fried chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I think I'm good. I don't.
All
If
right.
you're gonna have
Well,
fried
wait.
chicken, I think you need to do it in that vat of Earl, and
Yeah.
not
The way.
disrespect the fried chicken.
Right. That's fair.
Yeah,
You need to have your moms make a mess of fried chicken and then just go visit.
I mean,
All you got to bring is the hot honey.
that's true.
Yep.
Yeah, this it's something I've always kind of kicked around the idea of making because
Yeah.
it's easy. But
Right.
now that I've
Is
had
it just infused honey,
it's
right?
just infused honey. Yeah,
With like some peppers, I assume.
right. Now that I actually have it, I'm like, ooh, yeah, I'm gonna like. I can't wait to put it on more shit, Brian.
Right. So the next move is: have you had chili crisp yet?
Chili crisp?
Yeah.
What is chili?
I thought I sent you a link to that. You should look it up.
What the fuck is
If I believe right, it's done to where you basically like you crisp up some like garlic and peppers and I can't remember what else. But it really seems like something that would be right up your alley.
Chili crisp. Huh.
And no, it's not a cereal.
It sounds like it.
I mean, it could be, I guess.
Homemade
But
spicy chill. Okay. All right. Let me pull that up. I pulled the browser so people know what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Make this tingly, spicy, crunchy. Oh, Papa Bear. Captivating condiment on your own. What's in it? You sons of bitches.
Well, here, I got a list right sure from All Recipes. It's vegetable Earl, shallots, garlic, star anise, cinnamon, red pepper flake, ginger, soy sauce, white sugar, shiitake mushroom powder, and teaspoon of sea salt or teaspoon of salt. Basically, you bring the stuff to a simmer in the and then you brown basically until you brown the shallots and garlic. Then you mix in some other the next step, and then you strain it. What is it? Yeah, strain it. Then let garlic and shallot pieces cool in sieve before stirring back into the infused oil. Pour into a glass container with a top and chill until ready to use.
I wish I could smell these pictures.
Oh, I'm sure it smells amazing. I've never had this stuff, but I've seen them use it on various stuff on Food Network, and it sounds amazing.
I know we were, holy shit, this pho place we went to in Florida, which probably doesn't exist anymore because it was on the little island Mecca lived on, which got devastated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Malachet, who got like leveled.
Shit.
But there's this pho place, and
things just
I saw that
bad there. I don't know what you said.
Yeah, this pho place though had these like it looked exactly like this. Like this spicy chili oil stuff, and it smelled amazing. Yeah. It was so. I bet you this is what it was because I've always been thinking like I've never seen it anywhere else. I didn't know what it was.
Okay. I think you can. I'm sure you can buy it in stores, but like from that recipe,
this private selection one right here.
Yeah. Well, you have an Asian market right around the corner from you. I bet they have some.
Maybe it's pretty much just Korean. It is honestly.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot that one's just Korean. Never mind. They may not. I don't know what
says it's
ethnicity this
Sichuan, which I know is from China.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sichuan chili crisp.
Well, there you go then. Now, obviously, there's going to be different recipes and stuff. So, but I'll have the recipe from the one I was just talking about in the show notes if anyone wants to.
Yeah, I need to
make it.
Buy a jar of this or make it or something.
Because this totally feels like something you would be right on top of. Garlic and all this stuff.
It's got to be that shit that I've been like.
That's why it's like I thought I had mentioned this to you before. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I meant to and never did. Because as soon as I heard about this stuff and I looked at it, I'm like, I bet Tony would love that. Hell, I might love it too. I haven't had it, so might be a little hot for me though. I'm pretty white.
Well, yeah, you gotta try that hot honey, bro.
All right,
So I'm gonna be,
hot ham.
dude.
Oh,
Hot honey on ham, dude. That'd be pretty good.
oh, dude, that'd probably be
Probably
really
really
good. A glaze on the a glaze
Hey,
on the ham.
hot honey glaze? What? You right?
Air fry that ham
I mean, I have a small one.
with the hot
Well,
honey
no,
glaze.
just a ham in the air fryer.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, that sounds fucking great.
That'd be all right. That does
I mean,
sound pretty good actually. But yeah, just on a plain old ham sandwich, that'd probably be
I'm telling you,
pretty strong.
shit's,
Just drizzle that shit right
good.
on there.
Like I even told Michelle,
Yeah.
like she doesn't, it's not that she doesn't like spicy food, but she's not acclimated to it.
Right. That's part of my problem. Like I like spicy stuff, but it usually it doesn't like me, or it's just too hot for me, which is always sad. Like I'll eat something and be like, man, the flavor on this is amazing, but I cannot handle the heat.
The stuff I put on my sausages today. It was like more sweet, and then there was just like the chili kind of taste, and like just lingering low heat.
That I like.
That's all it was the whole time. And then like I went back for one more sausage, and I put a little more on it, and that's when I was like, okay, now I got a little more heat here. But use sparingly. Like I told her, I'm like, I think you would actually really like this stuff.
Right, like right into your tea. Yeah.
Hey, you never know if you're into that. Honey and tea.
Well, it might open up if you're a little stuffy, might help open you up a little bit. Or just squirt it straight up your nose.
I mean, get one of those little popsicle sticks and just kind of spoon it in there.
It just reminds me of that spray that I had that was just capsaicin spray. And holy fuck, did that burn like fire. But man, did it work.
That was supposed to be for the rapists.
Oh, that was pepper spray I was putting up my nose? Whoopsies. No, man, that stuff it worked amazing, but I can't imagine it's good for you to use a lot. It's got to burn the membrane or something, because it burned like fire. But but like I said, I was super congested and used it one time, and dude, that congestion opened right up. It was gone.
I kind of eat some good spicy food, and my nose runs and stuff, so I get it.
Right. Yeah. But this was shooting it right up your nose, right up your nose.
Up there.
Man, that was I don't know. I don't even know if they still make it. I'm gonna look real quick. I don't even know how the fuck to spell capsaicin anymore.
Did you know at one time? Oh, okay.
I did. Oh, actually, I was spelling it right. Okay. I surprise myself once in a while.
I put in top one, Captain Crunch. Hell yeah, respect.
Spray that right up your nose.
God, scar you for life.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ, this is hilarious.
What you got?
All right, so the first one that came up when I typed in capsaicin spray is this is on Amazon, and it's called Sinus Plumber.
All right, we're fine. Sinus Plumber. Wow.
Oh my God, this has brought up all sorts of great, like there's other stuff here there's ones called squirrel mace.
Nice.
And it's to repel squirrels, which is probably, hot pepper stuff, because hot pepper, usually will repel a variety of animals.
Familiar. I actually have little bird food nuggets that you mix with your bird food that are super spicy to keep little fuckers away.
Okay. Right. Nasal
That's
plumber.
a good one.
I like that. Yeah, but that's exactly what it's for. It's on Amazon. It's it's got cayenne, feverfew, peppermint, and caffeine apparently in it, and it's for help with congestion and headaches and whatnot. That was what the stuff I used. That's what it was for, and man, it worked quick. But like I said, it burns like fire. Like they tell you to use, I think, 2 sprays. I could barely handle 1 spray. So I can't imagine putting 2 of those up there. Like I said, my biggest fear would be over time. Yeah. Oh, hey, look at that. Oh, that's from 98. Never mind.
Sinus Plumber website.
Yeah.
100% natural sinus and headache relief. Whoa, this one's got a weed leaf on it, dude.
Hot.
Yep. Sure is. I was kind of honestly hoping for merch, but it doesn't seem like they have it.
No, probably not.
It's too bad. I mean, would you wear a Sinus Plumber shirt?
I mean, maybe if they, sponsored us, they send me some product.
I mean,
maybe.
this sinus and headache nasal inhaler is only $10.
Yeah. See. Perfect.
Oh wow, they got hot pepper neti pot drops.
Oh God, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But I could see. Well, actually, it's not. I mean, it's the same idea.
I mean, I guess that's true.
But also something else I found is seriously, if you just open a bottle of like whiskey or something and just take a good or horseradish or anything that's like, got burned to it, if you get a good snout full of that, usually it'll do, like you said, it'll do a similar.
Open it right up. Shuck you like an oyster.
From this old study that I just read, it looks like you can use it as long as you don't go stupid with it. It looks like you can use it regularly.
Hell yeah, Brian. We're back to doing rails of chili powder, bro.
No, dude. Fuck. I'll tell you what. Like, that's one of those things. Dude, as soon as you spray it in your nose, your eyes just water like immediately because it's it's right into your mucous membrane. You're just like.
Yeah. Next time you're over or something, we'll have to. Well, you'll have to check out the hot honey.
Oh, I thought we were going to do shots of Sinus Plumber.
Yes. The Sinus Plumber Challenge.
Oh, God. That's my first TikTok. I'm finally joining, and that's what I'm doing.
Sinus Plumber Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge is you got to plumb other people's sinuses.
Oh, yeah, that's fun. Like, unsuspectingly, like, just walk up.
Some dude's just enjoying his morning paper.
Just right up his nose.
Ah! Yeah, I like that.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
It is interesting, though, because I bet a lot of people, if you walked up and you were like, hey, I have this pepper spray, will you put it up your nose? They're going to think, like you were saying, like, spraying an assaultant in the eyes kind of pepper spray. And it's like, no, this is totally different. This is meant to actually go up your nose.
Pepper spray's smart younger brother.
Yeah. Would you like to try it? Oh, man. Can you imagine? Like, if somebody walked up to me like that, I'd be like, get away from me, creep.
You just want to put things in my nose.
I mean, maybe.
Plumb that nose, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Laser pipe in your nostrils.
Wow, that was terrifying.
Speaking of terrifying, we did Scary Movie Night, and that was cool. I got into it a little bit.
Yeah, you said Cabin
in the Woods.
Cabin by the Woods, thank you. I just blanked on the title. I kept wanting to say Cabin Fever.
Yes, that too.
Yes.
Yeah,
I watched my first spooky movie of the year as well because the other night Halloween H2O was on and we watched that. Yeah. Which, do you remember? I don't know if you'll remember this or not. When that came out, I worked at, I believe, Hollywood Video, and I had a screener for it that was like half black and white because that's how the screeners were at the time, so that people wouldn't just copy them and sell, the movie before it came out. And I took it home and watched it like the first night, and I was by myself, and which is fine. I'm fine with those kind of movies, And when I went to work the next day, and I was like, but it was like I watched it by myself last night, and they're like, oh, you watched it alone? Like, yeah. It's not like Michael Myers gonna come kicking my door in, coming after me. I mean, only if I'm wearing my Jamie Lee Curtis cosplay.
Exactly. It's actually Mike Myers from SNL.
Yeah. And of course my cosplay is her from True Lies. I'm doing that sexy striptease. That's it. What other thing could it be?
Duh. Yeah, we watched Cabin by the Woods. I love outdoor movie night. I don't think my neighbors do, which we already talked about a little bit. But the funniest part was we asked, Michelle's niece to pick the movie. I'm tired.
Right.
I could feel the wall closing in already. Had a rough day today.
Mm.
And we're like, well, go talk to Leah, because we also asked Leah to, because Leah's our horror movie expert. I guess Michelle's niece walked inside to talk to Leah, and she's 12. She's like,
yeah,
I just want to watch something gory. I want to see heads popping off of people. And Leo's just like, Jesus.
that's a little aggressive.
Cabin by the Woods, because minimal nudity. There's just one scene, lots of gore.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie if you've never seen it.
It is, yeah.
But I think it was 5 minutes left in the movie, and Michelle's niece, who told us, "Oh, we should watch another movie after this," was out.
Yeah.
Like sound asleep on our little bench, under a blanket. So we finished the movie. We didn't even know she was asleep. And Michelle's like, "What did you think of the movie?" No response. And then did the old shaky, and I'm cleaning up everything. Shaky. Hey, we got to go inside and go to bed. Nothing. I'm just like, I'm going to have to pick her up. And she's a very tiny 12-year-old. So I scoop her up, we're walking, and then that's when she wakes up. And she just goes, "Where are you taking me?"
To the cabin.
I was like, "Oh, cool, you can walk now. We're going inside."
Yeah.
But just
next time you need to get, a Michael Myers mask or something and have that on in case that happens again.
Yes. I don't know if I need to traumatize other people's children.
It's fine. They'll be all right.
Fair enough.
Makes you stronger.
Movie night was cool. It was cool, having her come over too. It was the first time she's stayed the night with us. Leah was here, and we had a good time.
Yeah.
I don't think she wanted to go home. Introduce her to the Oculus and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
Her and her aunt had a good time painting together. It was a good weekend. All in all, it was a good weekend, Brian.
Like it.
Except for whatever I had for dinner last night. Ugh. Man. Woke up feeling like hot death, went to work, ate some leftover pizza for lunch, felt worse. It's like, this is a great day.
Well, I mean, as we talked about it real quick, I mean, we had, like you said earlier, Tuesday, we went out to Ohio Pint Day in hopes of getting us fanciful pint glasses, and struck right out. Because apparently they were out by 1 o'clock, and we got there at 6:30.
That's
something like
I was eating lunch at 1 o'clock at work.
Yeah. And but we still had
fun. Yeah. I mean, we had the frat group next to us at the bar.
Yeah.
God, so gross. Excuse me.
It was seriously, you nailed it when you said it was like the hockey dudes from
for sure.
Letterkenny.
And then an ex-coworker of mine showed up and recognized me immediately, and it turned into a thing.
Yep.
Well,
yep.
There's hugs,
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was like.
Basically. But we had a good time. Although I'm going to say this. The food was banging.
Oh, dude, I had a double smash burger that was so fucking good. Like the next day, I was like, God, I want another one of those.
Huh?
Yeah, it's like if that was up at like Pavlov's, I for sure would have went up and got another one. It was just really, I think it was like we talked on here before about once in a while, something really simple just crushes it. And it's right, like I said, like a club sandwich or something. There's nothing fancy about a club sandwich, but when it's done right, it's just $1 million bucks
to a new level.
Yeah. I think that's all it was. It just really hit the spot.
Yeah, but I thought, the beer was good, but I thought it was not as good as it used to be. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it was fine. But there was nothing that blew me away, really.
The one beer I really like it is, Devil Wears Hoodies. Thank God it's a flagship one. I didn't get it, though, because I wanted to try other ones. And most of them I tried were just kind of like, I don't know. Although that one gin barrel-aged one, that was interesting. But
yeah. Well, that the hazelnut.
Oh yeah, that was
red.
Interesting too.
Interesting. It was very interesting, but like we both said, it was like it reminds you of a beer we'd have at a beer fest, where like this is cool, this is a fun try, but I don't want a pint of
it.
this. I don't even know if I want like a 10 ounce of that. You know, that might, like, those sample pours, the like 3 or 4 ounce pours might be about all I want of that.
Just to have a little taste and see what it's up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was kind of and the peanut butter jelly ale too. That was.
Yeah, that one was a miss for me.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, I was kind of lacking there. Yeah.
Right. But, you know, like you said, it, you know, still gave us an excuse to go hang and, you know, people watch and have time. So here's something interesting. So we got home and I posted on the Facebook for the Ohio, whatever it is that puts that on.
Craft beer, Ohio,
you
whatever.
Know, yeah. Because I saw a post from them and I was like, hey, this is a great idea. But it kind of sucked that the places around us were out of glasses before my buddy could get out of work. And their response was kind of snarky. Their response to me was, well, there was like 13,000 glasses across like 200 and some breweries. And I'm like, yeah, but all the ones around us were out. It was like, well, are we supposed to fucking drive to Cincinnati to get a pint glass?
I mean,
like, come
Cincinnati,
on. You know,
yeah.
Like, yeah, but you get my point, right? It's like, there's a limit to how far, even if it wasn't a school night, there's a limit to how far you and I would have like, well, let's go try here. Let's go try, you know what I mean? It's like, come on. It's like, you know, how about you just make the glasses a little more available because clearly this is popular, you know?
Sure, right?
Now, my guess is that it works similar to Free Comic Book Day, to where the bar probably has to buy X amount of glasses and they're X dollars a piece, and they probably have a budget and go, we don't want to spend more than $500 or whatever their number is, and that's just how many they have. But what blew my mind was that Ernest on their site said that they were only going to have like 100, and then a few days later they had a thing that was like, hey, we have glasses at both locations.
I wonder if maybe someone got more for some reason.
Or maybe somebody didn't sell them and Ernest took them off their hands or something, or I don't know. But it was like, in my head, I'm like, if the whole point of this is part of this is, first of all, they want you to go to the, you know, breweries. That's great. But they also want to raise money for the, whatever it is, the Ohio craft brewing thingamjigger.
Yeah.
Right? Because like $1 from every sale went to them. Well, why not just have the glasses available on the site also? That way, if somebody can't make it to something, and maybe not the same day, but later.
I agree.
That way on Pint Day, and make them like $10 a glass or something, you know? Because then on Pint Day, you're still going to go, because it'll be like, well, if I'm going to spend $10, at least this way I get a pint of beer. Right. The other way I'm going to spend $10, I won't get any beer, you know, or something to that effect. I mean, I feel like there's a better answer to this because, like, you know, like we were saying, it was disappointing. That was like, so anybody who works had zero shot at these things at some of these places, you know, without having to drive all over the damn city or whatever. And they were trying to update. I saw on their Facebook, they were trying to update what places still had them. But when I checked, it was like, you know, all the ones around us were out or showed out. So it was like, well, where are we supposed to go get one? Like I said, how far are we supposed to drive to try to get one of these?
I'm supposed to call off of work so I can get a pint glass and look like a real degenerate.
Yeah, right? You know, so like I said, I understand as a collectible item, not everyone who wants one's going to get one. I'm fully okay with that. What I don't like is when I feel like you're segmenting part of the potential collector base and they don't even get a chance at them. That's where I have a problem. I don't like if you open it up and say, hey, you know, there's a bunch available, that's fine. But at the same time, it's like with this, it was like, Ernest or not Ernest, Inside the Five was out at 1, which means odds are the joint across the street was probably also out around 1.
I would assume so.
Because think about it. If they only have, I mean, there's a couple questions. The way all the places worded them was like, with every beer, you get this. So is that if I order 5 beers, do I get 5 glasses? Or is it 1 per person? It didn't really specify. And if you only have 100 and every beer, hell, you and I could have had 10 glasses, you know? We just sit down and have us a time. We could walk out with 10 glasses, you know? So I don't know. I don't like the way it was done. It's a cool idea. I wanted one of the glasses, but I just didn't care for how they did it, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I mean it's hard to it's hard to think of a model you could use though. Like, oh, we'll release like 20 an hour or something. I guess you could
Right,
do
because
something
the
like
only other
that,
thing you
but
could do, well, the other thing you could do potentially is say, okay, well, we have this many are going to be available at open, this many are going to be available after
yeah.
5 o'clock or after 6. That way, you at least give people a chance to get there after work, you know. But then you're just going to have people sitting there from 4 o'clock,
Hmm.
probably, you know. So I don't know if that really solves it, but that feels like that at least feels a little more fair, you know, because there are a lot of people who work till 5. They didn't have a chance in hell
No.
at least at that place. And from what I was reading online, it sounded like most of the places ran out pretty
You know,
quick.
because I mean, beer is such a major cultural thing now.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, right? Like if each glass costs the place, let's say
Yeah.
$3, how many are you
Right.
ordering?
Exactly.
You know, now not so much because you're afraid of getting stuck with them. You'll always be able to move them, but you know, just putting out that much money up front.
Right.
You know, if that's how it works, which I assume
I
is
would
how it
assume so
works.
too. They probably like, oh well, how many? You know, we
Yeah.
sell them by the 25. What do you need? Yeah.
Right. Because like even like I said, when we did free comic book day, it wasn't free. They each book cost us a nickel roughly. And, you know, as a very small, you know, shop, we had a
Oh
small
yeah, for
budget.
sure.
You know, I couldn't order us like thousands of copies of each book. I mean, I tried to get a nice selection, but there were books we ran out of each time we did it because I could only, you know, I only ordered like 20 or something. You know, but doing that, I put a limit of one per person and, you know, that kind of stuff. But it was, you know, it's why I said I understand you're going to run out sometimes, and you know, you can't get everything when it's a collectible
Right.
item. It just bugs me when I don't feel like it's a fair shake for
No, I agree.
everybody. You know, at least a fair shake to try. Also, having it on a Tuesday, which I did find that out, it's the same day every
Oh,
year,
okay.
regardless of the day of the week.
Okay. All right. So it probably started on a
So,
weekend. Yeah. All
yeah,
right. That makes.
maybe not, you know, because like I said, you know, breweries don't have trouble getting people on the weekends. They have trouble getting people on a
That's
Tuesday
true. That's
afternoon.
a good point.
So, you know, I don't know, but this one was on a Tuesday, and like I said, because of that, it sucked. And you know, like I said, if it was Michigan instead of Ohio, I would have gotten a ride up and made sure I got us a
Right.
couple because I would have got up at Pavlov's like it opened and you know, just got a couple of them if nothing else. Hell, I had my mom sit there with a beer, you know.
Exactly. Hold this for me.
Yeah, basically just so I get
Right.
the glass. So, but whatever. It was still a good time.
No,
That's all that matters,
that
I
is
guess. But
exactly all that matters. Weird going out on a school night. You know.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. On the upside, I do like the fact that, like, on one hand, it was a little disappointing on the beers, but also it's not always bad when that happens because it's not one of those nights where you're going, man, those were going
Oh,
down
that's
easy.
true. Yeah.
You know, it wasn't one of those nights where it's like, all right, we gotta go, you know, kind of thing. It's like, all right, we're done here. Because we even talked about going
Right.
somewhere else, you know, and then we were like, because you know, you were getting food from Michelle, so it was like, we just
Yeah.
need to end
This
it
should be
here.
a
And
wrap.
right, also it's a
School
school
night.
night, so really shouldn't be trying to get nutty,
No, it's fun though.
even though
Yeah.
we wanted to.
Exactly.
I for sure, you know, could have, but if we were going to get nutty, I would have for sure been like, we should go somewhere else. First of all, probably somewhere a little closer to home,
Yes.
but you know, not that that's that far away, but
It's in
you know,
Sylvania. It's far enough.
yeah, exactly. But anyway,
But yeah, that's basically the
yeah,
extent of my week there, my guy.
yeah, same here. I don't have a lot of, I don't really have any stories. I do have one thing that's sort of a shut up and take
Yeah.
my money, or or it potentially could be, I should say, which is, and it's actually an old
Okay.
story. Wait a minute. No, I don't think this is the
Oh,
right
never
one.
mind, guys. We're not
Son
gonna
of
check
a
it out anymore.
bitch.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
No, it was because I believe it was Garrett told me about Funko has, like, if you go to their store like in California and
Yeah.
Washington, they have like where you can make like kind of make a pop, that looks like you. But I could have swore that I read that they were making them. There it is. Okay. I can't find the damn actual story, but this link is from a guy I follow on Instagram, and they're going to start offering the pop yourself option online starting next year. So, for sure, unless they're incredibly expensive, which I don't think they are. I think they're $25 if you get them done in store. So it's probably going to be something like that plus shipping. But I for sure am going to have to get a Funko Pop made of myself.
Yeah, of course.
And because why wouldn't I?
Exactly.
But yeah. So hopefully they've got good options so that I can get something that remotely looks like me, so it doesn't it's not one of those where it's like, well, I guess.
I mean, it kind of, sort of.
Yeah, I assume it will, because all I need is a beard, glasses, and a ball cap, and you've pretty much got me. So it'd be awesome if they could have some sort of branded shirts, but I'm sure they won't. All the clothes will
be super
generic.
It'll just be one color, basically.
Yeah. But it'd be dope if there could be like a Spider-Man shirt or something.
Well, you just get the blank shirt and you put a Spider-Man sticker on it.
True. Yeah, you're right. That's the move. Personal or customize it. So, yep.
Right.
But I big fan of this idea because when they first did, they had a thing where you could make like an avatar of yourself, like a pop, and I did that back then, but you couldn't do much with it. So I was like, all right, they need to make this like more, to where you can put this in, use this in other
use it
sites
for your
and
avatar,
stuff like
other places. Jesus.
Yes, I probably could have, I guess, but yeah. Anyway, so whatever. But I'll for sure be grabbing one of these when I get an opportunity.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Because otherwise, it's like. Because when they mentioned, like Garrett mentioned, I think you could have it done, when he visited the one in Washington, and I was like, the only problem is I need to see all the options, because I'm sure if I knew somebody who was going, I'd be like, hey, if I pay for it, can you get it done? Because they do it on the spot.
I mean, that's pretty cool that they do it on the spot.
Because literally, because they've got all the pieces, they just snap them together basically. And it's like, here,
that makes sense.
Throw it in a box and here you go. So,
that makes sense.
But yeah. But anyway, yeah, I'll be excited to have one of those. Nice.
So realistic.
All right, well, let's do QoftheW then.
All right, mate. Excuse me, I'm gonna start off with Instagram, Brian, because it's easy, because we don't have anything. Way to go, Instagram fans.
All right, then.
So I'm going to flip it over here to face page.
Right.
Where'd it go? Oh, there it goes. Sorry, my tab closed. Last week, we asked you guys, you are kidnapped. 2 hours later, you return because you won't stop talking about ...
Liam Neeson.
Yes. No. Zach Ellsworth says, okay, so I'm the first Friday the 13th movie. It's not actual Jason Voorhees that's killing people in the movie. Jason doesn't show up in the sequel, where he's first played by Warrington Gillette. But Gillette isn't the first actor credited with... Let me click see more. Oh my God. With playing Jason. That goes to Ari Lehman, who played Kid Jason jumping out of a lake at the end of the first movie. Gillette is the first actor to play Jason, but he doesn't actually get the hockey mask until the third movie. And funnily enough, the actor who gets the hockey mask will go on to be a lawyer who works in the entertainment industry and explain the lawsuit between Victor Millen and Sean Cunningham that's prevented a new movie from being made for the past 15 years. But if you want Jason's best actor, it's got to be Kane Hodder, with his best look is Friday the 13th Part 7, which actually started as a Jason versus Carrie idea, but they couldn't get the rights to Carrie, so she's just a generic telepath. Wait, where are we going? Oh, very nice.
Yep.
Very nice.
I like it.
Kiki, she says, how terrible of kidnappers they are and how all the things they're doing wrong, how they could do it better. Hardcore judging their knots in the rope, their location to keep me in, only having half a tank of gas, etc.
That would be great.
Very nice. And then, Diamond Top fan, Big Death. I'd start with recounting the story of Caesar's kidnapping and how I'll reenact the key elements, such as demeaning the amount they want from me and the reading of poetry. I'd move on to explaining how to read an NMR and how black body radiation works. Then I'd start listing off the corn stars using these emotes that I think I can afford with my ransom money. I'd follow this with movie and TikTok quotes. If all that doesn't work, I'd just shit my pants.
I feel like he wouldn't wait to shit his pants. He'd probably just do that right away.
Yes. I mean, that's just how he lives his life.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I got. God, I feel like I'm dying. I probably have whatever bronchial shit that Logan has or something. You know, right?
Fun. You should stop making out with your kids, dude.
You know, we love each other. That's all I got.
All right. Cheeto says they would probably be tired of hearing me bitch about work, the lack of work ethic in people, the lack of pride in their job, and how these kids today just don't know. They'd also be hearing about how they aren't going to get shit out of me or my family in terms of money, if there's a ransom, because you can't squeeze blood out of a stone. It says Hobie Picks, my action figure collection, those super cool parts in video games I play, how good I used to be at Half-Life, how I could really use a smoke and a beer if I'm going to be there a while, that I really need to pee because I'm almost 45 and broke the seal before they kidnapped me.
That's a good one.
I like that last one. That one's my favorite one.
Guys, pull over. You just went 3 miles ago.
Yeah. I gotta go again. You know what? Just piss yourself. We're tired of stopping every 5 minutes. Yeah. My God, you should probably see a doctor about that, man. You may have an enlarged prostate or two.
Nah, those 43 high lives.
Yeah. Right. Like maybe you should stop drinking your High Lifes out of a big
That's
gold
what you
cup.
think. Don't tell me what to do. Fuck you, High Life.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how the High Life is lived.
The champagne of shamelessness.
Yeah. All right. 1 through 5.
Wow. 4.
Four. All right. Which single player game is ruined by its final boss?
Oh, Jesus.
One that pops in my head real quick. Fable 3, or is it Fable 2, where you go against Lucian and you don't even fight him.
Yeah, okay, that's a good one. Yeah.
Do you remember that? Like, you go through like all this shit to like you get captured by him, and then you sneaky style work your way free, and then when you go to confront him, the old lady ends up doing all the work. Yeah, you just walk up and basically like flick him on the nose, and that's the end of the conflict. Like, you don't even fight him really. And I was like, what the shit is this? Like, what?
I've been waiting all game to murder this guy.
Yeah, it's like the whole game, this piece of shit's had it coming, and I don't even get to like really like hurt him. Like, I build up my powers like crazy strong for nothing. So, which also takes me back to like the first time I played Dragon Warrior.
Nice.
You remember that? Because like by the time you get to, I don't even remember the boss's name, but it's like I had been walking around killing like metal slimes and shit and getting huge XP. And then by the time I fought him, it was seriously basically the same idea, to where I just flicked him on the nose and it was over. Yeah. Less fun.
You back talk this kingdom.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh, it just felt like such a letdown by the time you get to him, because you're expecting a real fight, and you're just like, oh, I've probably spent too much time on side quests and
Yeah, I
shit.
was saying, the developers weren't picturing, little Brian wandering around
Yep.
for hours every night killing metal slimes for weeks on end.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's like, how it is like in a game like that. You match up against one of the bosses and you're like, whoa, I barely got
Yeah.
by him.
I better go grind
So
it
the
out.
final yeah, I better go really get, 80s montage here, and then you get to him and you're like, oh, I'm way more powerful than he is.
So I'm trying to think of a single player game that's been ruined because of the boss.
Yeah. But like Fable ruined it for me because I felt like it was all such a buildup to take down this uber powerful guy.
Right.
And then when you go against him, it was like, oh, they completely take it out of your hands. And I had enjoyed the hell out of that game to that point. And it just left such a bad taste in my mouth that I never went back through and played extra, like, because there was some DLC and stuff I had gotten, and I just never bothered with it. I was just like, I'm done with this. Like, it just killed the game for me.
Fair enough.
And I really enjoyed it. It was a great game to play through until that point. So
Dems is the breaks.
Dragon Warrior was different. Dragon Warrior didn't ruin it for me. That was just
like, oh.
Final Fantasy VII, even like Sephiroth is really, compared to some of those ultimate weapons you have to fight before him. Those things are
the
brutal,
sub bosses
and then you
are
get
way
to him and
meaner
you're
than
like,
the actual boss.
Yeah, but it didn't ruin the game at all. That game was still fantastic at the time for me, But yeah, like I said, I know it's an old game, but Fable 2, I think it was just, every time I play it, that's all I can think of. Or every time I think about that game, that's all I think about. I don't think about how much I enjoyed the rest of the game. All I think about is how much that ending disappointed me.
I mean, what's really bad for me of this question is I don't beat games anymore.
That's the other problem for me, is I haven't
another one.
Yeah, that's usually what I do too. But back then, I used to beat games all the time,
right.
so that's why I had to go back a while.
My problem with back then is I don't remember the bosses anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I'm sitting there like, I mean, I know there was something that had to. I mean, part of me says, I want to say, no, never mind. I was gonna say Star Fox, but the boss in that was that weird floating face, and that was actually pretty cool.
Oh God, I barely even remember that. That's a game I didn't beat.
Oh man,
because flying, no, no, flying, because you're just in the cockpit. It's not one where you actually have to fly.
Yeah, you just gotta dodge rocks and go through hoops or whatever.
Yeah, that I can do, but if I also have to keep the vehicle in the air, forget it. It's right now.
Fair enough.
You need me to crash it as soon as I get off the ground, I'm your man. But otherwise, forget it.
Yeah, dude, this is a hard question for me.
Wow, I really didn't think it would be. I figured there'd be some, like, not even a good game, but just some game where you're kind of like, oh, this isn't bad, and then the boss is either so impossible, or because there's games like that too, but most of the time they don't feel like they ruin the game.
Right.
That's why I said, like, for me, Fable 2 was an easy choice, because it really did ruin the game for me. Like, I had no want to go back through and play it again, because since you can choose good or evil, I like Fable 3 I played through multiple times.
Right.
But Fable 2, I was just, that end was just so much of a kick in the dick that I just was like, I'm done, and just walked away.
I mean, I guess if you're gonna talk like more recent type things,
yeah.
I haven't played Elden Ring in a while, but there's definitely some boss fights in there where it didn't make me done with the game, but I had to be done with the game in the moment.
That's understandable.
Because you fight him for again and again, and it finally just hits the point where I'm just like, man, fuck this guy.
Yeah,
I gotta walk away because I'm gonna launch this controller or something stupid. Actually, I've never done that. I would have never disrespect my controllers.
Same.
That's want to.
Right, like we've talked before about that, about how I always since I always had to replace my own controllers, I mean, I wouldn't destroy them anyway, but because I had to replace my own, I learned very quickly that would be a horrible idea.
No bueno.
Speaking of, actually, I think one of my PS4 joysticks, I think, is developing some drift.
Really? Tokyo
Because I'm
Drift?
running I keep running in GTA, and all of a sudden the guy just like does this weird like kind of like jump cut, like he's running back, and then goes a different way, and I'm like, I'm pointing up. Why is he going left? So I might have to get a new controller.
I have to put it in the Nook pile.
Well, I think because I think it's the one that came with my system.
Oh, so it's got plenty of like the Nook. Yeah. It's seen plenty of battle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's got scars on its face. It's just
those things only have. Yeah, they only have so many movements in them.
Right.
So
it's like me. I'm right down the dance floor.
Yeah.
I only have so many movements. 3 of them are humping.
I was going to say the controllers have more than 4, though. Okay, he's got the hip shimmy, even though it's not really a shimmy.
Oh, there's a fishing pole one. All right.
Yep. There's the hands over the head.
Yep. Oh, that's the finishing move.
And there's the hip thrusting. So wrap it up.
Yep. Finish him.
Yep. All right. Well, hopefully our people listening will have some answers for this.
I hope so too. I'd be curious to hear what people have to say.
Yeah. Yep. So it's funny. There's I was trying to think of just ones where like bosses, like where you get to the boss and you're just like you were just saying about I almost said Skyrim, not Skyrim, Elden Ring.
Yeah.
How you just kind of hit a point where you're like, fuck this boss, and you just quit playing the game, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Whether it's for a short time or forever, and I hit that eventually with Mario Golf, the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I got up against who's the final boss in that game? Can't remember if it's Mario or if it's Bowser, but I just couldn't beat him.
Right.
Just could not get so close so many times, and just couldn't do it. It was like I did everything else basically you could do in the game, but could not beat that final boss. And I kept trying for a long, long, long time.
Yeah, I get it.
But I just finally was like, I'm just not even going to try. I just play the rest of the game. But again, the game wasn't ruined. It was just super frustrating for me because I just couldn't beat it.
Right.
So
you're like, fuck this game.
Yeah, eventually you're just like, fuck this. It's like, well, and I really am that way because I'm very much like when I play games, I play them to relax.
Right.
A little bit of tension is fine because good. That's fine.
Yeah. Because
that comes with it. But, because I don't want the games to all be, pushovers or whatever. But you kind of hit a point sometimes to where you're like, like this is doing the opposite of what I want to play games for.
Yeah, for sure.
What am I doing here? I'm making myself incredibly stressed.
I mean, when I was playing I don't think it's out yet, but the last God of War, from a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And some of those battles in there, you're done and you're like sweating. It's just like,
yeah.
Oh, woo, I got you,
Yeah.
Like it feels like you're going to war with.
Well, I saw reaction videos that people were posting from Elden Ring like that, to where because some of the the bosses are were such a tough fight for them that they finally beat him, and they're like, yeah, which is funny because it reminds me of the first time I beat Ganon in Zelda.
Right.
And I remember as a little kid, I remember like standing up, like full celebrate, like I was Rocky,
We
did it, because I was so excited that I beat him because, it was one of the first games I really beat like that.
Right. There is something always exciting about that first game.
Yeah. It was a tough game for me at the time, too, because I was used to just playing games like Mario and shit like that that were a little easier to beat.
Right.
So I think that was the first role-playing game or whatever fantasy game like that they ever beat. You know, after that, there were quite a few, and then there has been very few since. So, which is kind of weird.
I mean, it is what it is.
Because I used to play kind of anything that would come out because we'd rent them from Sights and Sounds.
Yeah, like every Japanese
Yeah.
RPG or just fantasy based ones, and
Yeah. And then when I worked at Hollywood, I was the game champion, so I got to rent everything that came out so that I could,
you know
talk.
the difference is though, is back then those games took forever to beat.
Yeah.
Now they take even longer.
Yeah.
Because there's, I mean, I guess you could speed run them, but there's so much to do in the games now.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say I'm not a person who can avoid side quests.
No.
I always get distracted by side. I will do every side quest available before advancing the story.
So when the Witcher Wild Hunt was on sale, I bought it and I played it for maybe 45 minutes to an hour or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this game's pretty cool, but there's side quests I don't even know how many hours of content are in that game.
Yeah.
But it's got to be a lot.
Yeah, which I appreciate.
Well, I appreciate
if you're going to charge me $60 for a game, I appreciate it if you can give me a lot of playthrough.
I think I got mine for like 18 or something like that.
Well, you know what I'm saying, though. It's like, if you buy a brand new game, it's nice when you don't beat it in like 6 hours.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Because then you're like, dude, there's no playthrough on this, and I beat it, and it was full price. Like, what the hell?
I feel ripped off.
Yeah. It's like, okay, at least I got some time out of this. So, yeah. All right. Well, there you go. I guess, once again, the question is, which single player game is ruined by its final boss? I was thinking, though, like, is there a multiplayer game that you can think of that was ruined by its final boss? And I don't mean like, obviously like games like Call of Duty or something. I'm just thinking of old co-op games that we played, and I don't remember any that were ruined by the final boss.
Because I'm like, well, Ninja Turtles was always cool to beat up Shredder.
Maybe Battletoads, but
good luck. Yeah, no, I can't think of any I'm sure there's some out there that sucks. That's multiplayer, and it sucks because the boss sucks. But
yeah,
I can't think of anything right now.
Yeah, I can't either. So, all right. Well, there you go. So we'll see if bonus question: if there is a multiplayer game that was ruined by the final boss, let us know on that one too. Because
why not?
I'd be curious to find that out. And because Fable 2 didn't have the element of you being able to jump in your friend's game, did it?
I don't think it did. I think that was a 3.
3 did, but you were just like a crony. You weren't your own character, unfortunately. Which I would love if they make another Fable game. I would love for them to put the ability to bring your own character in. That'd be way cooler.
Any RPG like that.
Yeah. I'd love to have one of those games. Yeah, I mean, I guess kind of that's why you do what's that game called? I can't think. Like Borderlands, where you can jump in and jump out.
Right.
Saints Row's always had that ability where you could jump in and out and not affect the other person's gameplay as far as they can keep playing without you.
Yeah.
So all right. Well, there you go. That's the most of the show. Again, stay tuned to the end of the show. I'll have our word of the week here. In the meantime, head on over to saltylanguage.com, click all the links, check out the past episodes. You can find the link for the network that we're part of, which is the Tangent Bound Network, which can be found at tangentboundnetwork.com. So please go check them out. If you're looking to start a show or looking for a network or whatever like that, please hit them up. And if you happen to talk to Mark, I don't know, what do you tell him this week, Tony? Tell him Tony's tired.
Yeah, Tony's tired.
Tell him Tony wants to snuggle up on him and just rest his head in his lap.
I got some hot honey for his genitals, though.
While Mark just strokes his beard as Tony sleeps.
Exactly.
I don't know. Whatever.
Nice,
it does.
Nice beard stroking and a cuddling.
Yeah. All right. If you want to reach out to us on social media, you can find the show at salty_language on Twitter. You can find us or find me on Instagram and Twitter at Stunami or Stunamiao right now because I put my Halloween Abby back up, which is the one where I crudely drew whiskers and cat ears on my Abby.
So. Sexy.
Yeah.
Um, you can find me on Instagram at dmonotony if you want to check out all those pictures of beers and stuff. You can also find me, that Brewmaster game didn't come out on the 29th like they said it was going to, by the way.
Ooh.
You can find me on twitch.tv/allthebeerspod for now that it's getting crispier outside, some increased gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And the show can be found on TikTok. We can be found on Facebook. Just search Salty Language, you'll find us. Or go to saltylanguage.com.
Right.
Check out our Patreon, people.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, bonus content just went up there. I think last week I put a new video up last week.
Yep.
Buy-ins low, you get free content. I'm trying to like brain into some merch for existing and future members too. I was going to talk to you about it after the show. Also, check out Brian's Crazy Life Situation podcast with official Third Mike Heno.
Right, and Jen. Yep, where we talk about mental health and different stuff like that. Just trying to live better lives, and our journeys on that path. Or I don't know. I thought I had something and I didn't. So.
Inspiration.
Yeah, go check it out though.
And I think that's all. I think that's all I got, man.
All righty. Well, I got to pull up the tab because no, where'd it go? Did I close it?
Oh no.
Whoops. Oh, there it is. Okay, nope, I got it. Okay. All right. So this week's salty language of the week. This week's salty language. Jeez, I gotta. One of these days I'll get it right. All right. So. These are always so damn tough because I got to try to figure out how the fuck to say them first most of the time.
Naturally.
All right, so this one is arf arf and arf.
Arf and arf?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Okay, what?
And it's a Victorian term for a drunkard.
What?
That's what it is. It's like if you took the word arf twice, AN''ARF. That's what it is. Arf, arf, and arf.
Arf, arf, and arf.
That seems like a lot.
Do you have an origin for that or something? Or
it just says a Victorian term for a drunkard.
Oh, jeez. Those wacky Victorian. Well, that's what happens when your brain's half eaten by syphilis.
True enough, my friend. True enough.
You see some guy stumbling down the road because he also has syphilis, and
right.
He's arf, arf, and arf. And everyone's like,
yeah. That's what that's what it sounds like, is if you're just like arf, 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 arf.
Everyone's got their big stupid powdered wigs on.
Right.
Well,
we should bring those back.
They should.
Yeah.
Raoul is an arf, arf, and arf, right?
No, of course I do.
Maybe not cocaine.
Yeah, he's also a bed swerver.
Whoa. I heard he's like Gobby Knob or whatever last week's was.
Gobby Knob. That sounds like a whole different mess, especially with syphilis going around. Like you probably want to steer clear of anyone who has a Gobby Knob.
You're probably right. Everyone's just shooting webs.
Yep. Shooting kraut. Like yikes.
I just started shooting kraut everywhere.
Like, of all the things to describe it as, why would you pick kraut?
I know, right?
Yours isn't like that? God, no.
Wait, you don't shoot kraut? You don't shoot it fast, shoot it soon, shoot it pretty? Krauty shooter?
Man, nope.
Wow.
Terrible. That's just terrible.
And then, I just started shooting kraut. Yeah.
Wait, what? What?
Who's kraut?
Yeah.
Why would you shoot this man?
Yeah. That's your countryman. Why would you call him a kraut?
Oh, my God.
Terrible.
Shooting kraut.
Arf, arf, and arf.
I mean, I guess.
Hopefully they get better from here.
Wait, you don't like arf, arf, and arf?
The first couple were great. Beard Splitter's still my favorite.
Oh, we're ending the stream now, boys.
What?
You want to keep going?
Well, I mean, we're not done.
Oh, I sound like in my head a sign off.
Oh no. Well, I mean it is pretty much.
Well, what about
we're at the
Gobby
point.
Knobber? Yeah, Beard Splitter was great. Bed Swerver was awesome.
Right.
Gobby
Gadzooks.
Knobber, I'm unfamiliar with.
Gads
That's what it was. It was like, oh yeah, Buds McKenzie, right?
Yeah, I liked yours much better though. Gobby knobs sounds way more of an insult.
But a fucking arf and arf.
Arf and arf, yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, there you go. So until next week, have a beer. You'll be fine.
Oh man, I've had one and it's disappointing. But stay salty, everybody.